Sometimes, the world can feel a little too close, a little too loud. The rush of our daily lives can become a constant hum, a pressure that builds without us even noticing. But what if we could simply float away from it all? What if we could rise above the noise and see our world from a different perspective, a place of quiet observation and gentle wonder? Today we invite you to do just that. Let us leave the ground behind and ascend into the calm, open sky. We are embarking on a journey, a slow and peaceful drift over a remarkable place, a city nestled in the heart of Sichuan province in China. Let us go and discover the serene beauty of Mianyang from above. Our flight begins as the sun casts its first gentle rays across the land, painting the sky in soft hues of orange and pink. The air is cool and still, holding the promise of the day to come. Below us, the city of Mianyang is just beginning to stir from its slumber. Its millions of inhabitants are still wrapped in dreams, unaware of our silent passage overhead. From our lofty perch, the center of Mianyang reveals itself not as a chaotic maze, but as an organized, living entity. The city's downtown area spreads out like a carefully woven carpet, a mosaic of architectural styles standing side by side. Tall, modern skyscrapers with reflective glass skins rise gracefully, catching the morning light and shimmering like crystals. They stand as testaments to the city's growth and ambition, symbols of its place in the modern world. Around them, more traditional buildings with tiled roofs offer a connection to the past, their sturdy forms grounding the cityscape in a rich history. The layout of the streets forms a grid, a system of arteries and veins through which the life of the city will soon begin to flow. We can see the major landmarks that give Mianyang its unique identity. The colors of the city are subtle and varied. The gray tones of concrete and asphalt are softened by the warm terracotta of rooftops and the deep greens of urban parks. The careful integration of color and form creates a surprising harmony, a visual symphony for the patient observer. As we hover here, a sense of order and purpose emanates from the city below. Flowing gracefully through the heart of the urban landscape are Mianyang's two great rivers, the Fu and the Anchang. From our aerial viewpoint, they appear as magnificent ribbons of silver and jade, carving gentle, sweeping curves through the city. The morning sun glints off their surfaces, creating a dazzling display of light that seems to dance and shimmer. Their slow, inexorable movement is a constant, a calming presence in the midst of the bustling metropolis. The rivers define the city's shape and character. Mianyang did not simply grow around them. It grew with them, in harmony with their presence. The city's most important districts line their banks, drawing vitality from their proximity to the water. We can see long, elegant promenades following the river's edge, pathways where people will later walk, exercise, and gather. The rivers are not barriers to be overcome, but central features to be celebrated. Along their banks, the vegetation is lush and green. Willows and other trees dip their branches towards the water, their leaves rustling in the gentle breeze that follows the river's course. In the calmer stretches, its surface is like a mirror, perfectly reflecting the sky, the clouds, and the silhouettes of the buildings that line its shores. The rivers are both constant and in a state of perpetual flux, a perfect metaphor for the city itself. Where the rivers flow, humanity builds bridges. And in Mianyang, these structures are more than mere crossings. They are works of art and engineering that stitch the city's fabric together. There are grand cable-stayed bridges with tall pylons that reach towards the sky like modern sculptures, their steel cables fanning out in elegant, geometric patterns. Even now, in the quiet of the morning, we can see the first tentative signs of traffic beginning to flow across them. A lone bus, a handful of cars, their headlights still on in the dawn light. The bridges ensure that the rivers do not divide the city, but instead become central features that unite its different districts. They transform potential obstacles into beautiful focal points, enabling the city to function as a single, cohesive whole. The design of each bridge tells a part of Mianyang's story. Some of the older structures may have arches that speak of a different era of construction, of craftsmanship rooted in tradition. The newest bridges, with their sleek lines and innovative materials, speak of Mianyang's ambition and its forward-looking spirit. They are monuments to progress, symbols of a city that is constantly evolving and growing. Nestled amongst the concrete and glass, Mianyang is blessed with an abundance of green sanctuaries. From the air, these parks and public gardens appear as emerald jewels set within the city's grid. The largest of these, like Full Mountain Park and People's Park, are vast expanses of carefully tended landscapes. We can see winding pathways, serene lakes, and dense groves of trees, all designed to offer an escape from the urban hustle. The design of these parks is a marvel to behold from above. We can trace the gentle curves of footpaths that meander through woodlands and around ponds, inviting leisurely strolls. We can spot traditional Chinese pavilions with their elegant curved roofs strategically placed to offer the best views or a moment of shady repose. These parks are not just wild spaces. They are thoughtfully designed environments. Even in the smaller neighborhoods, we can see countless pockets of green. Small community gardens, tree-lined streets, and even green rooftops contribute to the city's verdant character. Soon, they will be filled with people practicing Tai Chi in the morning mist, families enjoying picnics on the grass, and couples strolling hand in hand along the water's edge. These parks are not just decorative, they are vital social hubs. As the morning progresses, the city below begins to awaken, and from our aerial viewpoint, we can observe the gentle, emerging rhythm of daily life. The first thing we notice is the movement. Then, as if orchestrated by an unseen conductor, the flow increases. The streets become busier, the bridges fill with traffic, and the city's pulse quickens. Yet from this great height, it is not a scene of chaos. We drift over residential areas, a patchwork of apartment buildings and houses. Here we can catch fleeting glimpses of life unfolding. We might see laundry hanging on balconies, adding small, colorful flags to the building facades. In the courtyards and small parks between buildings, we can spot the early risers. Perhaps an elderly group is gathering for their morning exercises, their slow, graceful movements a picture of discipline and community. Our flight path takes us over a local market. From above, it is a vibrant explosion of color and activity. The canopies of the stalls form a bright mosaic of red, blue, and yellow. We can just make out the tiny figures of shoppers moving between the aisles, their presence indicating the market is now in full swing. This is a hub of community life, a place where people meet not just to buy their daily provisions, but to connect. As our gentle journey continues, we begin to drift towards the outer edges of Mianyang. Here, the landscape undergoes a gradual and fascinating transformation. The dense concentration of tall buildings begins to thin out, replaced by lower-rise structures, industrial parks, and sprawling residential suburbs. The rigid grid of the city center softens, the streets becoming more organic. Neat, orderly suburbs with their terracotta-roofed houses soon merge into a patchwork of agricultural fields. From the air, these fields look like a beautiful quilt of different textures and shades of green. We can see the precise geometric lines of rice paddies, their flooded surfaces reflecting the sky like countless small mirrors. We can also see plots of land planted with vegetables, their rows creating fine parallel lines across the earth. Small clusters of farmhouses with traditional courtyard designs dot the landscape, each one a self-contained world. This is a timeless scene, a way of life that has sustained this region for centuries. The rivers that flowed so majestically through the city now meander through this rural setting with a newfound freedom. Their banks are no longer lined with concrete promenades, but with wild reeds and bamboo groves. Lifting our gaze from the city and its surrounding plains, we now turn our attention to the horizon. Mianyang is cradled by a gentle embrace of mountains, their rolling peaks forming a stunning natural backdrop. From our aerial perspective, these mountains rise in soft, undulating waves, their slopes cloaked in a dense blanket of forest. They are ancient and silent sentinels, watching over the city with a quiet, protective presence. Their peaks are often shrouded in a soft mist, which adds to their mystique and their serene, painterly beauty. The colors of the mountains are deep and soothing. 1,000 shades of green create a rich and textured tapestry. We can see how the mountains influence the local environment. They are the source of the rivers that give the city life, their forested slopes acting as giant sponges that capture rainfall and release it slowly and steadily. Observing them from the sky, one feels a sense of timelessness. While the city below is in a constant state of change, the mountains remain. They have stood here for eons, witnessing the rise and fall of dynasties. The city exists in a harmonious relationship with these great green giants. Their enduring presence provides a sense of perspective, a humbling reminder of nature's permanence and power. Our journey through the skies above Mianyang is now drawing to a close. As we slowly descend, the grand tapestry we have been observing begins to resolve back into its individual threads. We have been privileged to witness it from a perspective that few get to see, a viewpoint that strips away the noise and complexity, revealing a profound and simple beauty. What we have seen is a city in balance, a place where modernity and tradition, nature and human ingenuity coexist in a state of remarkable harmony. The gleaming skyscrapers are softened by the ancient rivers that flow between them. There is a deep and abiding peace in this kind of observation, a quiet joy in simply watching the world be. As we prepare to touch down, we carry this feeling with us. The image of the rivers carving their way through the land, the sight of the green mountains embracing the city, and the vision of a million lives unfolding in a quiet, coordinated dance. These are the gifts of our journey. The world is a remarkable place, full of hidden patterns and quiet moments of grace, if we only take the time to look. And sometimes, the best way to do that is to simply rise above it all.